Old Testament. It was when they left Egypt. That is when the old covenant began. Look at Hebrews chapter 8 verse 10. Please pay attention. Hebrews chapter 8 verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. Next verse. They shall not teach every man his neighbor, saying, know the Lord. For all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. Verse 12. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. Look at verse 13 now. Pay attention. In that he saith, a new covenant, he hath made the first old. The new made the first old. The New Testament retired the Old Testament. He hath made the first old. Now, that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. So question, when did the old covenant begin? It began in Exodus. So you will discover again that the old covenant, please listen carefully, the old covenant is not a book, and the new covenant is not a book. First of all, we said that the old covenant started from Exodus to Malachi. Then now we said Genesis is not the old covenant because Moses was the lawgiver, and Moses was not born in Genesis. Moses was born in Exodus chapter 2 verse 2. Then now we are saying that the old covenant is not books. The old covenant is not a book or books. Please listen very carefully. The old covenant is a relationship. The old covenant is a relationship. So when we see a relationship that is based on the law, a relationship that is based on goats for sacrifices, a relationship that is based on physical ordinances, we see the Old Testament. Listen carefully. When we relationship that is not based on animal sacrifices, so a careful study will allow you to see the Old Covenant even in the epistles, which is Romans to Revelation. You will still see the Old Covenant in the epistles. So the Old Covenant is a relationship. The New Covenant is also a relationship. Please pay attention. Now, if you observe in the epistles, sometimes you will see the conduct of certain people like Peter and James reflecting the Old Covenant. So it's not a function of books, it's a function of a relationship that people had or have with God. So the Old Covenant began when they left Egypt. There was a relationship God and man had based on the law of Moses. There was a relationship God and man had based on the law of Moses. So again, the Old Covenant is not a book. You will see it very clearly. Galatians chapter 3 verse 15. Please pay attention to the reading. Galatians chapter 3 verse 15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant. Yet, if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or added thereto. Even though it's a man's covenant, once it is confirmed, nobody disannulleth or added thereto. Next verse, 16. Now, to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, unto thy seed, which is Christ. Give me verse 17 now. I love this one. Verse 17. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of God in Christ, the covenant that was confirmed before of God in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of non-effect. That it should make the promise of non-effect. What do you mean by if it be confirmed? Look at again verse 16. Verse 16 of Galatians chapter 3 verse 16. Now, to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not unto seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. Now look at verse 17. Verse 17 now. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of God in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul, that it shall make the promise of non-effect. Afterward, God confirmed in Christ. And if you observe, there was a covenant before, confirmed in Christ, which the law came after 430 years. So, before the law, there was a covenant confirmed in Christ. 430 years after, the law of Moses came. Now, please pay attention. So, which means that the covenant of God in Christ came before the law. And that covenant is called the promise. That covenant is called the promise.